Alrighty, we snagged some sweet parts for the Datsun. We got two of these seats. So they have new foam, and I got some oil on those. That sucks, but they're leather. The oil will be nice for it. One of the seats is just starting to tear here, but it's new foam. It feels nice, and new leather or synthetic leather or whatever it is. So I'm gonna get a friend to sew the corner, and I'll probably just put some glue on it. And we're replacing these guys, which are real stiff, and there's a lot of steel exposed, and possibly some hay as well. So it's going to be a nice upgrade for that. And then we got bumpers too. So well, that's one of them. But it's a bumper. It's meant to do that. It's meant to get hit. Well, these bumpers are not meant to get hit because they're fiberglass, but they'll give the image of safety, and the image of safety is far superior than the actuality of safety. So, yeah, like motorcycles, the helmet, the gear makes it seem safe, but on the road, I mean, if you hit anything going over 100K and you hit a stationary object, you're dead. Doesn't matter about the gear. The internal damage will be too high. But yeah, so we have these, and they're kind of like a helmet and riding gear for the car. So it'll make it look good, it'll make it look safer, and I'll have less problems with the police saying I don't have bumpers on the car. And yeah, it fills all those holes up. We're gonna have to make some little conversion-y brackets, but I'm not too worried. And at the back, we're gonna have to lower down this hole. We raised it up on this car because I wanted to have the two twin tips there and have it higher and the car very low to the ground. But that was because I couldn't find bumpers that were reasonably priced. They were all going to be like $600-700. These two were $150. So now that I have an option for a bumper, it'll just be lowering that down to probably around there, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, that's that. We're getting closer to firing it up. We've done a little bit more dicking around with the DIY Auto-Tune MS3X. It's a hell of an ECU to run this car the way it is, but it is what it is. So yeah, we're using 3 of the 8 logic outputs for coils and 3 of the outputs for fuel injections. So because we're running semi-sequential, because we only have a cam only sensor, so we're probably going to figure out where the tack wire is from the ECU and where the coolant temp wire is for the gauge, and then we can wire that in. Sorry, for both for the gauge, and then yeah, we can wire that in. We'll have to use a transformer or something to up the voltage for the spiking on the tack, because it's an old style tack, and now we're running it off an ECU which can't do that huge voltage spike. So, or we can start sanding the car. We'll see how the day takes us here. Yeah. But yeah. So here's the damage to the other seat. He sat down on a screwdriver and poked a little holy hole in there, and then the stitching came undone, I think, as he was putting it on to the existing seat. But yeah, a little sew up and some glue, and or honestly just some glue, and I think we'll be good. And same with there, just put some glue over it, and we'll be good to go. But it's great. I can sit in this like this, and I'm quite comfortable. I mean, they're not the most aggressive race seats, so they're not going to have all the lumbar support of like a racing seat, which is what he went with. But for that shitty Datsun, for $250 for the pair, I mean, we can't complain for this level. I mean, I almost don't even care about that. But yeah, that's the seats. So yeah. So to get these seats fixed, I'm trading my skills for the skill set of another coworker, and he's got this off his e-bike, and he wants this piece welded back on, because when he's coming in the door, I guess, or something, it got hit, and then it tweaked it over, and it just pulled this little piece off. Now it goes through a big hole in the frame, and it will has a little spacer and a bolt. So we're not really that we don't need to hit that level of precision. Everything has play onto it. We can't lose the pieces, that's for sure. But yeah, So we're just gonna blast it on. We're just gonna sand it down. We're gonna keep our pieces so we have a male and female as they slide into each other one way, and that'll keep it as aligned as it needs to be. And then we can go in and sand it down more and get it a lot nicer. But yeah, come along for the ride as we fix something to get something else fixed. So yeah. But yeah, it's on there. We'll probably give it a quick sand, and it will, there you go. It lines up perfectly. I'll see if I have any, like a flat black paint, and we might give it a quick paint. But yeah, it also bolts to a round piece of pipe, so the exact angle isn't the end of the world, and we can always tap it down. But, I mean, it's got welds on there. It's not broken. It's shitty little Chinesium aluminum tube, and it's roughly in the same spot. So yeah, calling that a success. So yeah, smell you later. Alrighty, check it out. We got the old 280Z seats on the floor here. We've got our 240Z rails that are off. That was the old driver's seat. That really dug into you, and then the whole bottom portion was fucked. But yeah, check this out. Don't mind the mess. Yeah, they're in there. We got both of them in. Had a friend, the one I was fixing that stuff for, sew this up. It's not the perfect sew job, but it's perfect enough for this car. As you can see from it, it's a Haggard 240 or 280Z. And yeah, the only thing I did notice is that these seats actually sit a bit higher, and I'm wondering if that's honestly just from the seat cushion being so thick. I still have enough room to easily sit in the car and quite comfortable, but I do notice there's an extra inch that I'm sitting up, and you can see from these there's not much cushion, and they're completely blown out, or a combo of both. But these will be nice. They'll be comfortable. I still have a decent seating position, but I'm 5'9", and I don't know about anyone taller than me. But fuck it. The only discomfort I have is mental. It's not physical, which these seats were all just painful physically and mentally to look at and sit in. So it's a win for the $250. And then probably during the week, we might try to mount these bumpers on, make the mounts for them, and then pull them off and maybe paint them. As I'm rethinking the paint I bought, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the video, but I got this stuff here. It's just a 2K rattle can. But I'm kind of worried that I'm not going to have enough paint to do the whole car. So I might actually return these. I'm going to keep those for the bumpers because they'll do a very nice job on the fiberglass. And I'm going to keep the primer because it's a decent sealer 2-part epoxy primer. It'll work out pretty well. And then I might go and get some more of the primer because I don't want to run out. And the primer is quite an important process in the whole paint job of the car, as you probably know. But yeah, so I want to get that done. And then bish bash bosh, we're good to go to sand it down and paint it. And I've been able to recruit some helpers in sanding the car, because that's the biggest hurdle for doing everything on this, is just having to sand it down. But yeah, that's it for the weekend. I got seats in the Datsun, so it's something. and we got bumpers here, and we got the one seat fixed. So I'm quite happy. But yeah, any comments, concerns, put them down below, and I'll get back to you. But other than that, smell you later.